Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Sat Nam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. We are going to talk about this full moon that is happening in Gemini on Monday, and the astrology, the general meaning of it, the Chandra symbol, the gene key, and I'll tell you a little bit of insight into the human design gate that this full moon is happening in, but I will be doing a whole separate broadcast for the actual full moon in Gemini in terms of the human design tomorrow evening. So, and we're also going to be doing our ceremony for the full moon and celebration on Monday night in our global community. So make sure that you guys join us there to have some fun and get together virtually for all of these awesome astrological events. I need to turn the music down on my little music player over here because it's like super loud. So give me 1 second. But basically, I'm so excited to be here with you guys. It feels like it's been a while, and that's because I went out of town for Thanksgiving and went to Los Angeles. We had an awesome time in Los Angeles. We even got together with some of us from the global community that live in the area, and it was just really cool. So now I'm back home and back to work, but I realize it's like, whoa, I had such a good time in LA that it's hard for me to be back. Like I'm having a hard time. Am I having not cabin fever, definitely not cabin fever, but it's almost like I got back and then like right away I was like, I don't want to be here by myself, and it's really cold right now. It's like really cold and I'm like, I don't like it. But thankful that I got home, and like the first thing that I got to do today was basically do Moon Goddess training level 3. This is our last weekend together, and we've been going through a really beautiful journey and watching just everyone, flourish and flower and like step into their purpose has been such a powerful experience. So we have another day tomorrow, and then we have 2 more practice sessions on Tuesday nights. So it's nice to come home to like connection as well. So that's really cool. We're going to dive into the astrology, and I'm going to show you actually, I need to get the share set up. But before I start talking about the astrology, I wanted to invite you to a couple of awesome things that are going on that are really exciting that you should know about in our global community. So the first thing is I am hosting a free virtual Akashic healing retreat. Yep, you heard me right. It's going to be like a 9-day journey. The first day is basically like the introduction and kind of orientation to what we're going to be doing. But we're going to start December 4th. That's our orientation. Hello, everyone that's here in the chat as well. Jill, Cole, Jeanette, and Maria, welcome in. And if you haven't said hi in the chat, say hi so I can say hi back. But anyways, we have this awesome free event that I want to invite you to. So for 9 days, we are going to go into the Akashic records, and every day is going to be a different theme. We're actually going to be moving through the chakras, and the theme will be basically the journey of the ancient Atlantean initiatic path through the temples along the Nile. We're going to start with the temple of Abu Simbel, move to the temple of Isis, temple of Kom-Ombo, temple of Horus, temple of Karnak, temple of Dendera, the Osirian temple, then the temple of Dashur and Saqqara, and then finally the Great Pyramid of Giza. And each one of these contains the energy and the wisdom of one of the chakras and so much more. But in the Moon Goddess training, we go through this initiatic path in obviously a lot more detail. And we learn about everything that has to do with the sacred geometry connection, the hermetic alchemy connection, the astrological connection. How do we apply it into our own lives? What are the Akashic records, and how can the Akashic records, help to heal you or activate you? And so this experience will be, for one, a really beautiful self-care journey that we're going to go on through each of the temples together. So every day we're going to meet. And I believe I can look at the time real quick of exactly when we're going to be meeting, because I've been doing so much, I don't remember, but I know it's somewhere around like afternoon-ish. So it's 12 p.m. Mountain. Okay, so 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, beginning on Mondays, December 4th, is when we're going to be going on this epic journey together. And so what it's going to be is Zoom meetings every day at the same time. I'll be there every day. You please show up. I'm going to record it. There's going to be replays for all of it. So if you have to miss a day or two, that's okay. Thank you, Jeanette, for putting that on the screens to 2 p.m. Eastern. So the whole goal of this event is, the holidays can be a little bit intense, sometimes triggering, sometimes not, sometimes overwhelming, emotional. We can get emotional too. And there's so much going on that we often, I think, push ourselves to the limit and beyond. And I'm trying to get into the habit and wanting to teach everyone to get into the habit of continuously taking care of yourself, no matter what's going on that is super demanding of you. So that's what this is, the intention of this free event. So going into the Akashic records and kind of basking in the energy and healing ourselves chakra by chakra, temple by temple, is going to be a powerful activation right before we have our the rest of the holiday season, right? So come join us. It's going to be really amazing. And like I said, there's going to be replays. To join, all you have to do is become a member of the global community. It's a free event. And there's tons of free events that are going on. By the way, happy Sag season. The sun is now in Sagittarius. It's so cold outside that it's hard for me to tap into the energy of Sagittarius right now. I think I was tapping more into it when I was in LA because it wasn't as cold. We had like some really beautiful weather. And now that I got back and it's freezing, it's like, what is going on? It just feels like I came back straight to winter. It's kind of intense. But this is the time where we do start to go a little bit inwards in terms of this is the last season before the winter solstice, at least here in the northern hemisphere. And so we are doing that journey inwards. So a journey through the Akashic records, taking care of ourselves and cleansing ourselves and clearing ourselves, is the perfect thing that we can do to counterbalance all this activity that goes on during, holiday season. So join us in the global community for that. There's a link below to join that. The other thing I want to share with you is we're still doing the special holiday reading with Raven. You can sign up for that by clicking the link below as well. We both read your birth chart, your transits, progressions. It depends on what question you ask, how we answer your question with all of those modalities, but we've been having a lot of fun going into that and doing those readings. Our business school for light workers has now been announced and is open for registration. The business school starts in January 11th to be exact. And so the new year, the intention is we get set up for our business the right way from the beginning. And we have incorporated both the business knowledge and wisdom, which I'm co-hosting this course with Ariel, who's has tons of experience with accounting and all that stuff, setting up businesses and things like that, and taxes and all of that. And then I'm going to be bringing in the marketing, the self-marketing, the knowing, what is your brand, and all of this will be based off of the Pearl sequence in the Gene Keys. So it's going to be an amazing opportunity for you to know, remember, how we always ask that question, what should I do for a business? What should I call my business? There's so much stuff that you can use within your Gene Keys that it'll blow your mind. And we kind of talked a little bit about it today in the Moon Goddess training. And it made me really excited for our business school so that we can all dive into it together. And we're going to help you come up with basically a whole plan and to launch your business. So oh my God, I can't freaking wait. So that's happening. That's open for registration. We do have payment plan available. So just contact me if you would like to do the payment plan. Otherwise, the course is $1,111. The Tarot Masterclass is going on, and that's been really fun. We have one more week, and then after that, we are going to transition to a self-study course that will continue to be available, but it's just freaking amazing. So wanted to share all of that. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share all of that. And I so appreciate you guys being here. Hello, Ping. Welcome in. Hello, Grace in the Stars. Welcome in. Yeah. So definitely come join us for all the free events that we're going to be doing. Actually, in January, in the beginning of January, we are going to be doing a promotional event for the business school that's going to be free. That's going to be Activate the New Year. And it's going to be a mini challenge for us. And you'll get an idea of what we're going to be doing for the business school. So there'll be another opportunity to do something with us together in the global community. So check that out too. Okay. I want to jump right on over to the astrological chart of this full moon in Gemini. That is happening on November 27th at 4 degrees and 51 minutes of Gemini. There are some interesting aspects going on with this moon, which I'm excited to talk about. Let's see if I'm doing this right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. So this is how you know there's a full moon. When you have the moon making an opposition to the sun, and these are exactly opposing, although visually it doesn't quite look that way. Hello, Lish. Welcome in. That's when you have a full moon. Sun opposes moon. They're at the same exact degree and minute. And it's a time where emotionally we can feel those heightened emotions. We can feel the intensifying energy of the moon and the pull of the moon. And the moon is, rules the energy of Cancer and the emotions and the water and the ocean and the waves and the tide. And so when the moon is full, it's we feel the pull towards her realm. And she is, the moon goddess, the high priestess that dives into the beautiful subconscious realm. So full moons are always moments of heightened emotional frequency, both individually and collectively. Although a Gemini moon can be a little bit more playful and a little bit more fun. So that's the exciting thing. And we are in Sagittarius season, which means that this is this duality of, Sagittarius opposing Gemini are really fun energies in the chart. It's air and fire. And these two collaborate well together. They make the fire stronger. So I feel playful energy when it comes to especially a full moon in Gemini, because it is a time of culminating cycles. The cycle is ending for the moon, and it's basically like halfway, and then it's going to start waning, and eventually the new cycle will begin with a new moon in Sagittarius. But for now, we are feeling the very potent energy that comes through. So Gemini, what is Gemini? Well, in general, a full moon in Gemini is a time to focus on communication, on our thoughts, on how we process our thoughts. This will be a time where our mental energy is at a peak. This is because this is the full moon energy, and Gemini is all about expressing ourselves. So you have to ask yourself, are you expressing yourself? Are you expressing your truth? These are really important questions to ask ourselves. Gemini is ruled by the magician in the tarot, which is basically Mercury, the planet Mercury. So there's an aspect of magic and hermetic alchemy present with this frequency, and it's always the case. But I think it's really powerful too, because Sagittarius can really activate us in that way as well. So what are some of the, dogs are barking. What are some of the aspects that are actually happening during this moon? So the first one is, since you have the sun opposing the moon, there is definitely an opposition to, over here, we don't just have the sun in Sag, we actually have a stellium in Sagittarius. So it's the sun, it's Mars, it's Mercury, and it's Ceres. So Mars is drive and motivation, Mercury is the mind, and Ceres is the nurturing mother. That's fire energy. With those are kind of interesting, right? But with Mars here, and Mars basically just entered into Sagittarius. I'm doing this video on the 25th. So Mars entered Sagittarius yesterday on the 24th. And I did upload the video into the Starseed membership. So go check that out to know more about it. But basically it's a drive and motivation to have fun, to do adventurous things, right? And the opposition to the moon kind of brings about this interesting dynamic where we may feel really called to take action in our lives for whatever it is that whatever idea is coming through, whatever you're connecting with, you're wanting to actually go and do something about it. You don't want to just sit there. This isn't like a sit there kind of energy. Gemini can be kind of antsy. Sag, always moving and the energy is just flowing, and it's the fire that expands. So we're in the season of the expanding heart, and the more that you can tap into that energy, the more that you'll be guided on an awesome adventure that will help you find your deeper truth. So that's exciting. There is a challenging transit that's going on, which is to Saturn. There's a T-square to Saturn. And then when the sun entered into Sagittarius, there was a square to the planet Saturn, an exact square. And that wasn't the best of energy. That was a very difficult transition into feeling like something may be against us, or that we have to work harder to do the stuff that we really want to do. So it's a challenging frequency, and it's continuing to sort of be in the air, which might be why many of us are feeling that friction, because it is friction. It's something that is basically showing you okay, you want to have a lot of fun, but the truth is that you have to make sure that you are mature, that you are responsible, that you are following the rules. And so Saturn can feel very restricting. And so the full moon can just be oh, do you really have to dim the lights? Do you really have to do that? Do we really have to follow every rule? Can't we break some rules? And Saturn's nope, these are the rules and you cannot break them. And so that can feel like it's opposing this desire and drive to have fun. So that's going to be the one challenging aspect. Although Saturn in Pisces is definitely a call to spirituality, to deep unearthed wisdom that can only be tapped into through spiritual experience. So it's the challenge into the spiritual realm, because Sag and Gemini just want to have fun and like fuck around, right? But Saturn in Pisces is serious about this, And so it adds the challenge, like, can you do something that is really fun for you and exciting, but also connects you in a deeper way to your higher purpose, to your truth, to your mission? I mean, really the choice is yours, but the friction is what we will feel and are feeling and will continue to feel all the way until, this energy moves away from the square to Saturn, which also brings up karma and past lives and soul contracts and things like that. So there is within orb trine to Pluto. That's beautiful, because the trine will bring in the depth that we need to want more, to want to go deeper, to want to experience things at a higher vibrational frequency that explains to us or brings us information about the answers to certain things, right? Hey, Maricela, about wanting to know what is, what's underneath all of this. That Pluto automatically takes you deeper no matter what is happening. But this is a harmonious depth because it is a trine. And then here's the coolest thing of the whole moon is that the ruling planet, which is Mercury, who's right here, is at 24 degrees of Sagittarius during this moon, which means he's in Ophiuchus, the 13th sign, and which means he's 2 degrees away from the galactic center, which is the plasma that channels through the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy and brings in like Akashic wisdom from our solar system and the history of our solar system. It's like a portal into divine consciousness, divine awareness, Akashic knowledge, the Akashic library of light. So if you just look at that one thing, you can see that this is going to be a very activating energy. So Mars is helping us, feel the drive and the motivation to like go do something, take action. Mercury is tapping us into finer, higher, more powerful wisdom. The moon just wants to have fun, but also go deep. And it's all a challenge to discover ourselves even deeper, at a deeper level. So I overall feel like this is going to be a really powerful moon. The stargates that are getting activated are Ophiuchus, Orion, the Galactic Center, and Arcturus, with literally Venus, making a conjunction to the South Node on Arcturus, which is the divine wisdom of sacred geometry, hermetic alchemy. There's a lot that is activating us during this time. Those are a lot of starseed markings to have on a particular moon energy. So when that happens, it can feel really activating. It can feel like there's a nervous system activation or an awakening, or we feel very sensitive and overwhelmed by all of the energy that kind of wants to flow through us. So we just have to pay attention, because this is the potential for downloads, the potential for powerful ideas to come through. Remember, this is a Gemini ruled moon, a Mercury ruled moon, and that's the mind, activating the higher mind. So I feel like this is going to be a really, really cool thing. The chakra and system of the body that Gemini affects is the knees chakra, which is all about how flexible are you. So testing our flexibility and connecting us to our ancestors. And there's an energy here of expression. Like, how do you express yourself? Do you recognize the ancestry within you? Do you honor your ancestors? That's another big part of it, which I think is really beautiful. And the system of the body is the respiratory system. We're actually going to be doing the Sagittarius season Kundalini yoga. I forgot to mention that. And that's going to be happening this coming week, I believe on Thursday. No. Yeah, Thursday evening-ish. So come join us for that. Come take Kundalini Yoga in our global community. It's a free class. I do it once a month and it's super activating. And this one for Sagittarius season, like, you know, we work on the Kundalini, we work on all of the chakras. So it's going to be a really, really powerful one to tap into, especially with all these galactic frequencies that get activated during this time. But either way, we're going to be also, you know, working on with this full moon, the respiratory system, and asking ourselves, are you breathing deep enough? You know, are you tapping into the breath? Because the breath is what connects you to spirit. It's the most powerful connector to spirit. So when you do breath work, you are literally opening yourself up to take in more sacred, divine information through literally the breath of life. It is that powerful. So that's exciting. So what I want to do next, now that we've kind of covered the astrology, I want to talk about the Chandra symbol, and I want to talk about the gene key and a little tiny bit of the human design gate that this moon is bringing us into, this realm. And it's so cool because everything that we go over in this broadcast adds more symbolism to this. So we already know that this moon is highly activated and like galactic activation. And now we're going to tap into a little bit more wisdom that will help us to embody it a little bit more and notice like how it is affecting us. So let me switch back to this screen. And so I'm going to be reading from this book, which is called Inside Degrees, and talking about the Chandra symbol. So let us find it here. And these are really beautiful. It's like very poetic, the information found here. Okay, so this moon is an immense tortoise with jewels inlaid in its back. I breathe, therefore I prosper. I love that, Maria. Thank you for saying that. Yes. Okay, so here's the message. Consciousness, which obviously Mercury and Gemini is about the mind. So consciousness fragrantly and outrageously running off to infinity with all that is happening. Sounds like a match. You are always able to take anything further, to follow things out beyond boundaries and limits. Synchronize with multidimensionality, coming upon the future everywhere, blown so wide open that all you can do is exclaim, marvel, and alternate between rapture and despair. High-strung and wildly strung, engage with all outstanding possibilities, hopeful and yet equally doubtful, yearning toward a world where everybody can be free, vividly impressed by a world where the chains prevail, caught in the crossfire between the old and the new, depending upon ingenuity and resourcefulness to each and every time, open the space, stir up the pot, and uncover something dynamic and progressive in every corner of existence. Just asking to be rallied, championed, and brought further along in the sparkling mix we partake in together, with never a dull moment, nor any entirely closed doors anywhere in sight. That's so beautiful. So a tortoise is like a turtle with jewels inlaid in its back. And the turtle is like, it's our ancestors. It's the connection to the ancient wisdom. And I can see the tortoise, it's hard to say that word, just taking us into these beautiful realms. I think a tortoise, sorry, I can't say the word, is the animal that the I Ching was discovered upon the back of a tortoise. The shell had the what do they call them? The I Ching, the lines, the hexagrams. There we go. The hexagrams of the I Ching were discovered on the back of a tortoise. So how freaking cool is that this is the animal with jewels inlaid on its back. So I would go further into like, now let's dive into what is the gene key, because if that's taking us into a journey of the hexagrams and the I Ching, hello Lisa, then this is like the guide towards the deeper wisdom found within the energy of this moon. And we are having this moon on the 20th gene key and the 20th gate in human design, which is actually a really, really powerful one. So the 20th gene key is called the sacred Om. It goes from the shadow of superficiality to the gift of self-assurance to the city of presence. The programming partner is the 34th gene key. And these two gates are actually part of the integration channels, which I'll talk about tomorrow in the human design video. But like powerful energy. The ring is the ring of life and death, which teaches us about teaches us to release our fear of death. This specific gene key is really about being more present as well. The human design gate is also the same. The city is called presence, and the sacred, and it's described as the sacred octave. So I want to read to you about this 20th gene key. The 20th city is so unique that there is very little that can be said about it. Mythically, it is represented by the notion of the breath of God or the word of God. See, that right there is like just stunned me, because Gemini is, again, I said, the respiratory system. Presence is the underlying nature of being. In fact, the word presence does not do this city justice. It would actually be truer to name the city the presence, since the use of the definite article gives us the distinct impression that this is a state of consciousness that has nothing to do with any individual. It is the manifestation of the presence of the divine through a human instrument. Whoa. Whenever a human being attains the citic state, he or she is suffused with the presence. Pure consciousness floods their being, silencing the mental activity and drawing the person into the eternal present moment. When this occurs, the whole world created by the human mind is suddenly seen as utterly superficial. The smallest thing, such as a leaf or a stone, is understood to have more life within it than all the greatest ideas of man. The presence is experienced as everywhere and inherent in everything, and is where we get the term omnipresence. In the state of presence, the individual is no more. You may find yourself sitting in the same spot for 3 days, and it seems as though not a single second has passed. Time dissolves into the background consciousness of all being. When you experience a brief moment of déjà vu, you are tasting the purity of a moment of pure presence, in which the present moment becomes a funnel for both the past and the future, momentarily intensifying and transcending them. The presence is also extraordinary in that it can be felt by anyone. When the city has flowed in a person, it actually creates a subtle atmosphere around itself, a kind of silent ease that pervades the aura of the person and radiates out to all creation. One of the great effects of being in the presence is the deepening of your breath. The presence links all human beings as one through the breath. Therefore, people immersed in the atmosphere of presence begin to breathe as one entity. The true citic state is one of complete relaxation. As you release deeper levels of tension, the high frequencies of the presence force you to sigh until your physical body comes into a state of great ease. The presence can also be seen as an intense softness in a person's gaze. To a person immersed in the presence, absolutely nothing matters. Thoughts are irrelevant, and suffering no longer exists because the mind has been cut at the root. There is nothing to say that is not superficial. Only silence can even approach the truth. We can see through the ring of life and death, the codon ring associated with this gene key, that the presence is also the quintessence sought by generations of seekers over millennia, the 23rd gene key. It also has a direct relationship to the experiences of silence, the 24, selflessness, the 27, innocence, the 3rd, and celebration, the 42nd. The 20th city relates to the mystical nature of the octave, the transcendent note that begins, ends, and links together all vibrations through the universe in which we live. It is also the 8th color, the pure white containing the other 7 colors, and that which also brings us back to the number 0, the blackness out of which all form arises. Above all, it is the sacred breath that unites the realms of both light and sound, allowing us to enter completely into consciousness as pure existence. The 20th city also relates to the 8th plane of reality, the true ground of our divinity known as the logoic plane. As consciousness expands through each of the 7 layers of sheaths that surround the human being, see the 22nd gene key for a full description of each, the eternal cosmic ocean of consciousness in which we swim, the body of the Logos or divine word is finally revealed in all its glory. The logoic sphere, the 8th transcendent plane, is beyond humanity, beyond words, and beyond form. The 7 sacred bodies of humanity: 1 physical, 2 astral, 3 mental, 4 causal, 5 buddhic, 6 atmic, 7 monadic, and 8 logoic. Once the presence opens inside someone, it is difficult for them to maintain a role in the world because there is nothing of any importance to them in the world outside. Such people no longer fit into society, neither can they explain their reality to anyone else. All they can do is go on existing, allowing life to bring them the experiences it brings, even though it is all simply uninteresting to them. The presence sweeps everything before it, ending desire, sex, thought, even feeling. These people no longer feel anything but the presence itself. Even the deepest human genetic programs, the urge to eat and survive, are swallowed up in the majesty of the presence. Some people who have entered this state actually have to be fed in order to stay alive. However, in most people, the human habits remain and continue to function, even though they are really understood as non-essential to the continuation of consciousness. In the world of the future, the 20th city will eventually absorb humanity. When it does, we will enter an eternal world, a world in which mind will no longer have any role other than to help us communicate. Telepathy. Though through the mutation that takes place in the solar plexus, the 20th city will finally allow humanity to be at ease with our world. In Eastern cultures, the primal sound at the heart of the world is known through the symbol of the Omkar, whose sound is Om. When the 20th city dawns, this is the sound that is heard. A soundless sound, connecting all life, suffusing all creation, and bringing everything back into its pure existential reality. Beautiful, huh? This gene key is a really, really powerful one. So again, it moves from the shadow of superficiality to the gift of self-assurance, or known as divine relaxation, and eventually the city of presence, the sacred octave. The ring of life and death is a complex genetic codon group governing the many processes that bring human beings in and out of form, wielding the cosmic forces of creation and destruction. This ring is based upon change and the continual mutation of life. In fact, in all cycles of physical cellular mutation, life is programmed to follow the archetypal processes represented by the 6 gene keys, these 6 gene keys, which is the 3, the 20, the 23, the 24, the 27, and the 42. Its secrets are revealed in the simple wisdom of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path left by the Buddha. All life is change and is thus subject to cessation, and all truth lies in the awareness of the present moment. Another message contained within the ring of life and death is that the chaos of play is to be deeply trusted and revered. Play is the expression of genius, and genius always finds a new solution to the challenges it meets along the way. I love how that brings us back to this energy of Gemini, genius, and allowing that genius by being present, by being in the moment, by having the awareness of the truth, by allowing us to chaotically play and have an adventure, which is very Sagittarian. To trust that journey, that adventure, brings us back into our genius, which is the way that we can find solutions to the challenges that we are going to meet along the way. And the challenges, you can see them as that Saturn square that is challenging us to dive deeper into a more spiritual experience of this adventure. Super powerful. And a little sneak peek into the human design gate, which I'll be talking about tomorrow in our human design video. We have the 20th gate, which is called the gate of the now, right? So like presence, being present, the now, it's a very important theme. It's also known as the energy of contemplation. It's a gate that is found in the throat center, and it is individual knowing circuit and integration channels. It's part of both of those energies. The channels that we're going to be talking about tomorrow are the 5720, the brain wave, which is individual circuitry, the 3420, the channel of charisma, which is all about integration, and the 1020, which is the channel of awakening, which is also an integration channel. So this is powerful energy, not only calling us to be present, to be aware, to be conscious, to be like alive and paying attention, but it's also calling us to step into a higher level of awareness and a higher level of understanding and experiencing an embodiment of the physical, of literally spirit descending into matter. And the way that we do that is to connect to our breath. So in our Starseed membership, we're going to do every new and full moon, we have a meditation. I upload the video of it. So we're going to do a meditation that activates the breath. One of them, the most powerful that I can find. So if you want to make sure that you're going to get that, then join us in the Starseed membership. But yeah, overall, I feel like this full moon might be like really powerfully engaging in the spiritual sense for all of us, both like individually, but also collectively. So it's a very exciting thing. I am feeling the energy like kind of intensifying, and I'm like, okay, I better get some rest because I'm pretty tired from my trip, but I can feel the energy like, ooh, it's here. It's almost here. So good times. Thank you guys all so much for being here with me. Remember to check all the links below. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, make sure that you tune in to when I go live and when I upload videos. Follow me on Instagram at Channel for Grace. Follow the Moon Goddess Training Instagram. Hello, Paris, welcome in. And check out I invite you to join me again, the free virtual Akashic Healing Retreat, which is happening in our global community. The special holiday reading that we're doing with Raven, and the business school for lightworkers that begins in January. Again, all the links are below. A lot of this stuff that I offer for free to give you guys opportunities to tap in and understand what it is that I truly offer. And this is really the best way to have an experience of it without having to have the commitment. So I'll see you in the Akashic Healing Retreat on December 4th. And I'll see you tomorrow here for our Gemini full moon human design reading. And I'll see you in the global community on Monday night for our Gemini full moon celebration. Sat Nam. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. And I'll see you again very soon.